Hello? Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Let me post that I am live. So, today we're starting off the podcast back, which is very, very, very nice. We will start soon, though. I can't even find my own stream. Hold on. Yeah, this happens sometimes. Takes a while. Oh, there it is. Okay. Alright. What's up, chat? Hello, Fentanyl. Crazy name. What's up, chat? Welcome. Outrime, what's up, bro? What's up? So, we're gonna start off with the podcast soon. Let's just wait like 2-3 minutes so people start tuning in. We are bringing back the podcast. It's been a few months since we actually did the podcast, so it's nice that we're back. You know, we're gonna have weekly podcasts with different guests. Hopefully, it will go on longer than the last time. Last time it was like 7 episodes. So, it's nice to be back. Hello, Marcus, Death, and Ervin. Hello, hello. Yeah, what's up, guys? We are back. Today we have Loco, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys already know who it is. But if not, you will know who it is. So, yeah, good timing, good timing. The lawyer, what's up? Last time it was Peak. I'm glad you liked it last time. Yeah, last time was good. Hello, Inter. Hello, Jack. After this podcast, I will stop the stream and then we will restart a new stream and we will be doing a normal stream. Who is Loco? You will see, dude. You will see. Loco is... And my stream crashed. What? Okay, we're back. Hello? We are back. So, as I was saying, Loco is the owner of mods for people.
I don't know if you're lagging a bit, but you keep cutting off.
In Discord? Wait, hello? You hear me now?
Now I do, but
Okay.
I haven't heard you for a bit.
Yeah, I'm having a... Bruh. Ain't no way this is happening now. Let me reduce the bitrate. Alright, hello, apologies for the lag. It should be okay now. I reduced the bitrate a bit. Hello, chat. Hello. Type 1 if it's okay. This happens when I stream facecam after a long time. For the first like 5 minutes this may happen, so it's okay. But anyway. Yeah, so Loco is the owner of the of Amok Studios. So Amok Studios is a company where they focus on making professional plugins, mods, all of that for server owners. So without any risk. So we'll talk about it more in the next few minutes, but that's basically what it is. Loco has made a lot of mods. For example, he's made Amok Studios made a lot of mods. For example, they've made a lot of mods for the Nilex server. There's literally so many that there are. So if we go to their Discord, Jack, thank you for the dono. Thank you for the dono. Let me find. They have made servers for... Literally, we can start mentioning so many. Northwich, EUPath, Crest, Project X, Hypnotic, Nilex servers. Literally, most of the servers nowadays, Brad's network, have used Amox. So, that is basically a little introduction to what Amox is. Thank you for the dono, Jack. I appreciate it. So... Before we start as well, I want to give a shout out to all of the sponsors of today's podcast. Without you, the podcast would be, would be much harder to do. But thank you to all the sponsors. We have ourselves, first of all, Amox, who's sponsoring this podcast. So we'll be talking more about Amox, what it is in this podcast. We have ourselves Pine Hosting. So Pine Hosting, if you guys are you want to start your own server. not just for Unturned, there's a lot of servers such as Minecraft, Rust, Project Zomboid, and if you use code LDG, you'll get 30% off, so make sure to check it out. We have ourselves Restore Monarchy, they offer plugins that are free for your server, so they also offer, in their website, they do have like a lot of tutorials for anything regarding Unturned, so make sure to check them out. Make sure to check out World of Warships as well today. There's a lot of different ship battles, a lot of features, customizations, etc. So make sure to check it out. And we have ourselves the No-Name bot. So the No-Name bot basically is a professionally made Discord bot. So if you guys check out exclamation No-Name, exclamation any of them, they're all listed down at the bottom. So No-Name is a powerful Discord management tool that keeps everything on platform, so you don't have to play around with bot dashboards or any of that. So yeah, we can start now. Hello Loco, hello my friend.
Hello, Liam.
Yo, what's up bro, how are you man?
I'm doing great. Woke up a few minutes ago to run to this podcast.
Oh, well.
So it's going great.
Well, good morning I guess then. It's yeah. So it's your first time on a podcast, right?
It's my first time on a podcast and my first time speaking with someone for quite a bit of time. Like, we're going to discuss all sorts of questions that you've prepared for me.
Yes.
I'm a bit scared. I'm a bit afraid of what you've prepared for me.
Oh, no, don't worry.
We will see.
Listen, if there are any questions you don't want to answer, just say pause, okay? Don't worry. But it should be alright. It should be. I've prepared a list of questions. You saw them. They're just, I think they're, in my opinion, they're chill, you know? So, yeah, first, so in today's podcast, we'll be talking a lot about your experience with, even with Unturned. We'll be asking about questions about Unturned, and then later on we'll talk about Amox and future, all of that. So, yeah, chat, by the way, if you guys would like to ask some questions at the end we'll have a 10-15 minute dedicated time where we will talk about, you guys can ask questions. Make sure that they're legit questions, but they will be at the end. So stick around, tune in, wait. Okay? And yeah. If you guys are watching this podcast after it has been already published, feel free to ask questions in the comments as well. And maybe, who knows, maybe Loco will respond to them. So yeah, so let's start. So the first question I have for you is, I ask this to everyone. So the first question is, when did you start playing Unturned, or at least hear about Unturned?
Ooh, well, that one is... I believe I began back in June 2017, and it was primarily caused due to all sorts of YouTubers making video content on Unturned, and it had hooked me up. And seeing, for example, Fudgy, Ali Telepus making videos, I was, for example, watching P9da back then. I've also seen some Czech YouTubers make content on Unturned. It was primarily caused by YouTubers that I even figured out about Unturned, and I've decided to try it out.
Okay. That's sick. So your first experience was like if you saw Elite and Fudge, it was like mostly like roleplay content then, I guess.
My first was more like Fudgy, which was like semi-RP, so there was still a lot of PvP aspect to it, but I still liked the fact that you had some type of save zone where you could like build your stuff and not be worried about you losing it the next day.
Alright.
But I was more of the PvP guy at the beginning instead of like roleplay.
Alright, yeah, that's interesting actually. I think you're the first person I heard that actually start playing Unturned because of a YouTuber. That's actually really cool. See, this is why we need YouTubers, man. If more people post videos, maybe they will get more people to play Unturned.
That is true.
So that's really cool. So my next question is, so you've worked with a lot of servers. So actually, let's start. So, what inspired you to start Amox?
So it was a combination of many things. If I start from the complete older thing, it was maybe about I've seen some people in the community taking advantage of clients within Unturned. I've seen instances where people charged egregious amounts for NPCs, like NPC development, even though those things took like 1 or 2 minutes to create. So that was one thing. The other thing was that Unturned Official took away the ability to commission people within
Yeah, I
the
saw that. Yeah.
Discord server, which I respect. They didn't want to deal with all sorts of scamming and that thing, so it's completely understandable. However, when that was taken away, a lot of people lost a way um, to get known in the community that they're taking commissions. The common workshop at that point was a bit dead, like it wasn't as active as it used to be, and new modders don't know about that Discord, that it exists. I don't even know if you know about that Discord.
Oh no, no.
Yeah, yes, and at that moment, we thought of creating something, some type of Discord. At first, it began, of course, as my own commissions. However, the more people came, the more people we've seen. There were options to like get more people on board because I myself am not an army and I cannot do everything like constantly.
Exactly.
So that's why we started growing and thought of minimizing, for example, the scamming within Unturned. And if everything is on Amox, like I'm not allowing any sorts of scams. And if I get to know someone is scamming constantly within the community, they're, for example, removed from Amox, they don't have the ability to be there. I just want to make sure that we're a small community at this point, Unturned, and we need to make sure we're like together and we don't steal from each other, and we need to
Exactly.
make
Yeah.
sure that we build some type of community more and more instead of lose people because they got scammed.
No, yeah, though that definitely makes sense. Was scamming like a big thing in that Discord and like Unturned Official?
I don't know because I was taking commissions myself and I was the honest commissioner.
Of course, of
But
course.
I believe there were a lot of scams back then. I believe a lot of people have gotten ghosted after sending out some
Uh,
payment somewhere. So I wanted to make sure this doesn't happen anymore.
no, of
It
course.
wasn't nice.
No, of course. I mean, yeah, I've had a few experiences with scams myself, or like when I promote a server, and they tell me, Liam, I will pay you after. I'm like, okay, sure, and then they ghost me. So it's like, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good.
Oh no, of course. So yeah, so all right, that's interesting though. It's really interesting. So the next question for you is, so you've worked with a lot of servers in your time. So what is your favorite unturned server or network? In your
Favorite
opinion?
Unturned server or network?
Yeah.
I can't really say if there's anything favorite because I don't really play Unturned as of right now. I'm mainly having it as my job.
Okay.
So if I were to say about talk about some server that I used to play, let's say 3 years back, then at one point I was hooked up a lot to P9 Das Antonov.
Okay.
I don't know, I had some type of moment where I wanted to shut off and for 2 weeks just play Antonov constantly.
All right.
However, of course, there's like Nilex's network, which is my job as of right now. So of course, it's like a favorite network.
Oh yeah, no, of
But
course.
if we talk about like servers that I play, then it's probably, for example, all sorts of like. I don't mind if it's some specific Antonov. I liked all sorts of Antonov servers, especially the ones where you could like build your own apartment instead of having those
Warehouses.
shared yeah warehouses. I did not like those at
Nah.
all.
I prefer me personally. So I've played on Turn a lot. I don't really like how it's going nowadays. To be honest, sadly. I feel like the old Unturned was much better than it is now. I don't know.
No, well, as of right now, server owners need to find a balance between a sandbox experience and more of a realism experience. Because
Exactly.
you cannot go way too much on either. You cannot go way too much on either, and you need to have some sort of balance. If you have a server that's way too realistic, players will just not enjoy the experience. If it's too sandboxy, players will get bored within 2 hours. So
True.
you have to find a balance between these two things. And if you do find a balance, then you will have players playing every single day on the server.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah,
And these type of unturned servers, for example, the what I enjoyed when as I spoke at the beginning that I enjoyed on Fudgy server being able to build your own base in the safe zone and being able to make your own shop. That's the same thing on Unturned off. I like being able to build my own apartment and turn it into a shop, which wasn't possible with the warehouses. So that's again something that the servers lacked on afterwards, and I'm glad that I'm seeing some servers are bringing it back right now.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Sometimes I feel like sometimes it's a bit hard to find the balance though, because everyone is like such a competition sometimes. So it's
It is
sometimes hard.
indeed.
Yeah, it is
It is
hard.
indeed hard to find balance. It's more of a. It depends on how you build the community, what kind of players you get. You have to work with them a lot. You cannot do changes on the server without knowing your community. Otherwise, your server is just going to die.
True, true.
If you make sure that you create the server exactly how the community wants, that's exactly what you want.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's why sometimes there's so many servers that like they start off and said they don't get any players because they need to be like creative, you know. They need to have their servers need to have something different than the other servers, and
Yes,
sometimes that's hard. So
that's exactly also a thing. Like there was a time where almost every single server was an Unturned server, but they didn't have anything special on the server. So of course, it's not gonna drag people towards that server. You always want to have something special that you yourself came up with, instead of constantly copying every element from other servers, because you need to have something special for the players to enjoy.
exactly, exactly. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I'm excited to see what they're gonna like, what they're coming up with in the future. So we'll see. We'll see. We just have to wait a bit.
Exactly.
All right. Or like plugin
I'm sorry.
coding.
Oh,
I think I'm
you've
lagging.
got off a bit for me.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yes, it's good now.
Okay. Yeah, a slight lag issue. All right, it's okay. So yeah, my question is, you do a bit of modding yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so did you learn that process by yourself? Was it self-taught or YouTube tutorials?
So, at the beginning, at the complete beginning, I wanted to be. I was a developer on Elite Developers back then,
Okay.
and we didn't have much content because a lot of developers were not active. They had to dedicate their time towards something else, and I've seen an option to like start learning it. So I started learning, for example, clothing and map editor. Both of these things I used some type of video tutorial for, because I didn't know where to begin at all. However, once I got to know NPCs and map editor, I went ahead and tried to search for things myself. I've moved over mainly to NPCs. I stopped making clothing,
Okay.
and when I started making NPCs, I've seen the server, the Unturned community doesn't see what everything you can do with NPCs, because there's so much you can do with NPCs, but most people focus their time on Unity and all sorts of other things on modeling, but there was such a big potential in NPCs. So I've started making cool looking NPCs and started implementing objects to it. Then suddenly you've had other modders see that there's actually something cool you can make with NPCs. And I went forward and started learning also particle effects within Unity. And then I've decided to get to know the entire Unity. Because Unity itself, if you know how Unity works, then you can implement even better quest lines, even better content.
Okay.
And that all of that turned also to learning UIs, because you can incorporate UIs in a vanilla Unturned into NPCs, and I'm trying to do it as much as possible now, because you can make actually something really cool with it. You can make, for example, let's say you have a boss that uses the NPC logic. You interact with the boss, and suddenly your screen is gonna go into full black. There's going to be some text to where you're being teleported to. You're gonna get teleported while you don't have your vision, and then it's going to fade back. So instead of it being an instant teleportation, you actually you fade into black, you have some text, and you fade into the actual map.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't think I'm allowed to talk about this actually. Never mind. So yeah, I saw that you did something regarding that already, right? With like the teleportation in space, I think it was.
Yeah, all sorts of things. Like, last month, I spent a lot of time working on Nilex's Halloween event, which was something a bit new. I've seen players wanting to do some sort of like live update system that you have on Fortnite. So
Okay.
I thought of a way to make something cool, something new, and at a certain time on the server, we've teleported everyone into an empty box. That triggered an animation. Everyone had like a cool looking animation that had overridden their camera, so they've seen some cool features of the upcoming event. And
Okay.
then at the last thing, we had like the logo, Life RP, and everyone got teleported back to the main map. And that's when the live event unlocked. We used a plugin that flagged everyone, that made the event accessible for everyone. So it's possible to make these sort of things. It's hard to make it because it's not that simple, but when you do it, it's such an amazing moment, and it's such an amazing feeling seeing the players being blown away.
Sick. That's sick. I'm gonna be honest. I do think like you guys
You
are
lag for me a bit, Liam.
Bruh, I'm lagging. Wait. Bruh, this internet.
Hello?
Hello.
Liam?
Hello.
Yes, I hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm dropping some frames sometimes. It's okay.
Sorry, let me finish my sentence. That players are sometimes blown away with what we as a mod makers are even able to do within today's Unturned. Unturned has progressed so much in terms of modding.
I agree. Nowadays, I'm seeing some crazy mods. Like, they're so good that sometimes I literally do shorts on them. Oh, thank you. Jack, thank you for the £5, bro. I appreciate it, man. God bless you. But yeah, sometimes there's crazy mods. I'm seeing a lot in the Unturned showcase. Like, you guys post, or people that work with Amox, they post stuff, and I'm always like, wow, that's insane. I never thought modding could be this advanced now. So
Yeah, but we would like to work with servers later on to make sure they have as many players as possible. For example, like a few days ago, we've implemented the new thing for you specifically. So clients within Amox are able to get some type of YouTuber to advertise for them really easily instead of having to look for them or email them. And we would like to continue doing these sort of things where server owners have it as simple as possible to create servers and advertise them. And we can actually later on as Amox discuss all sorts of content the servers want to order, and we would like to discuss them. What is going to be the benefit for the players? Is that going to help with player retention? Is it going to help with overall content on the server, and all sorts of these things? Because currently, sometimes I see server owners commissioning things that they don't really need for the server. I've seen, for example, some server owners commissioning guns,
Guns
or
and vehicles.
vehicles. And yes, it's cool to have a lot of vehicles, but that money should instead be invested into something that it's going to keep players in game playing. Rather,
Exactly.
yes, you're going to have cool vehicles that they will drive around, but how long will these players drive around the map till they get bored of it? So that's another thing you have to keep in mind. So that's what we would like to work with server owners later on to make sure that they commission something that they actually need for the server, and we're going to try to help them with that.
Nice. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Yeah, I that's amazing. Honestly, like sometimes the thing about vehicles and guns is so true. Sometimes I'm browsing through the mods just to see like what's new, or it's always it's always guns or vehicles. I'm like, wait, can we see like new animals? You know, there's like one mod where there's actually like animals, for example. So it's like it's really cool that we're trying to broaden out from just guns and all of that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's also amazing. Like in terms of animals, I believe animals are one of the hardest to do within Unturned. Uh,
That makes sense.
so it's that's the reason why there aren't that many cool looking animals. But of course, if there are people like for example Suffix within the commission space and they get actually commissioned to make all sorts of animals, then there are all sorts of good looking animals.
Of course.
However, oftentimes these commissions either get privatized, so it's just for that server itself,
I see.
or then it gets posted onto the workshop. But if it gets posted onto workshop, most of the times people don't even know something like that was posted.
Oh yeah, no. For it to do well, it needs to be on like on when you load it on turn, it shows like popular workshop content, something like that, and it's there. And sometimes they're completely goofy mods. So I think that's mainly the way to actually have a mod popular, you know?
Yes, that's definitely one of the reasons why our AMOX free packs have been a bit more known in the community. I'm sorry that I'm jumping to
No,
another
of course.
question. I'm gonna take over you now.
No, yeah,
And
we can talk about it now. Actually, the free packs. Yeah, let's go.
when you do post something onto the workshop, you definitely want it to get onto the main page of the Unturned. You
Yes.
want it to get into the main menu. When you do post something onto workshop, it's always good to ask your friends and everyone around you to subscribe to it and like it immediately. Last thing we've put out onto workshop as an AMOX free pack was the reactive FX mod, which like makes when you get shot you have like a blood splatter on your
Okay.
screen.
Yeah, I think
or-
I've seen this.
Yes, and we managed to get it onto the complete first page in most popular mods in workshop within just 30 minutes of it being uploaded. And that's because Unturned Workshop, I believe, checks how many players like the mod and how many players subscribe to it. And if a lot of players do it at the same time, that means Steam sees it as a popular mod. And that's why we were pushed immediately onto the first place. And if it's on the first place within Steam, then after like a week or 2 weeks, it's going to get posted automatically in the main menu of the game. And when it does get posted into the main menu of the game, that's when the mod is going to skyrocket in terms of subscriber count. And that's when it's actually going to get more popular.
Okay.
With these free packs that we're posting as AMOX, we're wanting to make server creation as easy as possible for people. Because let's be honest, Unturned lives off of server owners. Unturned lives off of servers. We will not have Unturned if there are no servers, because there people will
They
just
will
not
just
have a
die.
place
Yeah,
where
yeah.
to play. So we want to make the server creation as straightforward and simple as possible. We will post these sort of things that are important for server owners. We will not be posting things like gun packs and
Exactly.
I don't know
Something
anything
different.
else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because there are a lot of gun mods already, but we're focusing more on the more niche side of modding. So you have like, for example, the reactive FX mod that just overhauls the more like the immersion of Unturned. We have the new trees pack that even Nelson himself commented on it, and we are glad Nelson actually noticed this mod. And we want to keep making these sort of special looking mods like the tree mod that we've put out. It had, for example, when you've cut down the tree, there were like stakes flying from the branch that you've just cut off.
Yeah.
And when it falls down to the ground, it makes a sound effect. When you cut it down, then the stakes from top of the tree fall down to the ground. Yeah, and there are a lot of cool looking trees. And the best thing, we use a special type of optimization on
Okay.
these trees that make them very optimized. And I'm saying something like this should be used by Nelson. Yes, it's going to add like 50 more megabytes to the Unturned. Yes, and that's just resources. That's just trees. So
Exactly.
it's a thing called imposters, and you just make it so the tree overlays like three. The tool takes a picture of the tree from every single angle, and then it overlays three images close to each other depending on how you look at it. So that means it's not a normal skybox looking tree, so it's just a PNG and you can see how it changes when you drive fast in Unturned. But
Okay.
this thing actually makes it look like an actual tree from far away. It helps even more with the immersion yet again.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I've
And
seen these trees. They look really good. So if they get replaced in Unturned like official vanilla maps with these trees, it would be like huge. I'm not gonna lie.
I, I don't believe Nelson is going to replace them because they have replaced the all trees just recently.
Oh yeah, true. True.
It would be amazing, of course, but we cannot expect that from
Oh
Nelson,
no,
and I
no, no. Of
completely
course.
understand it. But it would be great if Nelson could implement all sorts of these small things to the vanilla trees already. It would take a day. Like
Oh
if
damn.
Nelson buys the tool, which is like 80 euros, it's not a lot. He can get it implemented all within a day. And maybe, since he has access to the source code of Unturned, he can even code some type of additions to these trees. We are working with, as modders, with limitations of the game. We cannot make changes to the game
No, no.
itself,
Of
of
course,
course,
of course.
but I believe Nelson could, for example, implement these changes to the new trees, and it would make the performance even better. The next free pack that we would like to post is some type of new nature, which
Okay.
is going to have all sorts of new different looking grass, all sorts of bushes, lily pads, flowers, logs, pebbles, rocks, cliffs, and even custom looking water. What we
Oh
want to do
wow.
is have, let's say, 10 different water objects,
Uh huh.
and these water objects are going to be different depending on where you place them. Let's say you want to put water in a pond. Then you will have a water that doesn't have any foam on the edges, and it's very calm. It's not moving that much.
Okay.
But there will be also water that you will be able to place at the ocean, and this water will have foam on the edges, and it's going to have some type of waves. It's going
Oh
to
wow.
move actually, like in the sea. Because right now, yes, unturned water is
Just
somewhat good, but when you put it to ultra, I feel like the water doesn't mix in that well with unturned,
yeah, yeah. I feel
and
like
and
it's weird
it's
sometimes.
causing a lot of lags. Like
Yeah.
it's causing a lot of lag. So what we want to try is make sure this water looks like similar to the unturned art style,
Okay.
and it doesn't cause that many lags. So that's yet another free pack that is going to allow server owners to create amazing looking maps, and they can build off of that. If servers have an amazing looking map, players are going to enjoy it, they will see the vision in that server, and then perhaps later on the server owner is going to receive some type of funding, and this funding can be put into new development of content that players would love to see.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. It's important that Unturned keeps, moving forward, not just staying the same. And yeah, people modding these kind of things, especially with water and foam and waves. I've never thought that would ever even like be a thought of someone to try to do. So it's really interesting to see that we can progress all the way until that stage.
Yeah,
So
I definitely cannot take credit for the waves idea. That wasn't mine or any of the freelancers' idea within Amox. I've
okay.
seen someone in Unturned Official post that in the showcase, the official showcase,
Okay.
and I thought of a way how we could perhaps make it accessible first to everyone, because right now I don't even know where that wave thing is, and I think it was made for someone private. And two, it's going to we're gonna try to expand on it and make it look even better and see how
Okay.
it's going to go.
All right, all right, all right. No, I mean, honestly, the more people that come up with ideas, the better, you know? So,
Yes, yes, yes. The servers do need players in order to have more funding, and we as AMOX exist only if these server owners have funding. So that's
exactly.
why we would like to go forward with these server owners and actually help them with their servers and make sure they have the players, make sure they have the community and
Exactly, exactly.
content.
Without players, the server's useless, you know? So,
Exactly.
that's where I come and I try to bring in new players from other games to Unturned. So sometimes it works. There's always like when I post a short that does well, there's always a comment saying what game name, and I'm like, yo, that's Unturned, and they're like, okay, I play. So it's good to see. It's good to see. All right, so do you have any other ideas for free packs though? Like, is there anything you're working on right now?
So we do have one bigger idea that's a bit bigger than just free packs. Of
Okay.
course, we do have some type of other free packs ideas, like for example the new nature pack that's going to overhaul even more of the environment of Unturned.
Okay.
We have an idea for some sort of another city pack where you have like custom streetlights that turn on during the night. You have
Wow.
all
Okay.
some type of AC units that spin up on buildings, and you have some type of manholes that actually from time to time have like steam
Okay.
coming out
Wow.
of it, like in New York City in real life perhaps. So this type of cityscape pack is more usable for RP servers, for example. But we're definitely going to go forward with more of the essential plus category too, which is the reactive effects. And we would like to look at something else within Unturned that deserves to be reworked, that deserves the love that it needs, because it hasn't been, for example, receiving any attention since Unturned has been released.
Okay.
And that gets me to the point that I wanted to say. We want to do something that's bigger than free packs, and that's, for example, rework the official maps as
Wow.
AMOX.
Holy.
Because official maps haven't changed much since they were released, and I've spoken to a few server owners and they would love to see some type of reworks of these maps. So we would use content from our free packs towards these custom official maps. So we have, for trees we can use all sorts of AMOX trees. For nature we can use all sorts of the AMOX nature. I myself know how to do a lot of NPC, so we can perhaps bring in new type of quest line for Russia, or we can completely rework the quest line on Russia because it's not that complicated to implement your own type of system to it. We would like to rework some type of, for example, crafting recipes on these maps. We would like to make sure that some type of structure buildings are different, for example. We would like to make sure that we bring something new to these official maps, because these new official maps haven't seen any change ever since they have been released, except for some small tweaks, but that's just
Okay.
a small tweak.
Honestly, if I've been saying this for a while, like if Unturned, if just the vanilla maps, even if they have a little update, nothing too crazy, I feel like it will boost so much. So a complete rework would honestly be insane. That would
Yes.
that would definitely bring back so many players, even if they just check it out and then if they like it, they will keep playing, because a lot of people complain that there's not enough content in Unturned, new content.
Yes,
So,
that is true, but I cannot really blame Nelson for it because he's a one-man army, and
oh no, of course.
even though I don't agree with it, because these sort of games that have grown into something bigger do deserve to have a bigger team behind it. But of course, I don't know what's behind the closed doors, so I cannot really blame Nelson as of right now. But what we would like to achieve with these sort of official map reworks is Nelson capturing Nelson's attention and perhaps getting him to incorporate us to these official map reworks and see that we actually have the ability to rework them and make it into something new.
Exactly.
Let Nelson see that he actually can put some of the work onto someone else and he doesn't have to do it all himself, and that he can actually trust someone to do it properly.
Exactly. I do think if Nelson gets a team of just a few people, doesn't have to be a lot, I feel like it could be so much better. I recently saw that he actually, I'm not sure about this, but I think he hired a mod maker that
was,
on...
for example, that was the new trees. That was Dogfood, the creator of More Farming mod. He has created the new tree.
Oh, hello? Your mic cut out. Hello. Am I lagging? Oh. Hello, am I live?
That you ate. I believe Dogfood made that animation. I don't know much because I haven't dug into it, so I don't know that information.
Wait, your mic cut out, so for the past minute I don't know what you said.
It had cut out?
Yeah. You DC'd for a sec and then you came back.
I see. Okay, so what did you hear last?
We just started talking about Dogfood.
Yeah, so Dogfood is the creator of More Farming mod. I believe the latest blog post that you had Nelson eating some type of soup.
Oh yeah,
I believe that animation was also made by Dogfood.
And
I'm not completely sure. And the pizza. I'm not completely sure, but I believe it is because Dogfood made these sort of things in More Farming mod. Yeah. His animations look amazing, of course, so I understand Nelson would like to incorporate him more into the development, but he shouldn't be forgetting that reworking animations is one thing, yes, but are players going to stick in Unturned for that?
No.
I don't believe so. I believe Unturned needs a bigger change, like, for example, the rework of these Unturned official maps. And since I myself and others also have some sort of server owner experience and modding experience, we actually know what players are wanting, what actually they would like to look forward, what they are going to enjoy on these maps. But you can rework the game as much as you want, but until there's something new, actually new or bigger, then it's not going to bring in the players that you need. Yes, official maps rework is a rework itself too, but they have not been touched in, I don't know, let's say 10 years, 10 years, 9 years. So we would definitely like to put the attention in here, because that's what players play. They play on these maps. The maps are the most important thing. The content on these maps are important. Or maybe some type of new mode. But this game deserves something new. It's been stale for a bit. Yes, there has been a few nice, amazing creative projects. I've spoken with some developers that have been working on them. They're amazing. But that's not the biggest part of Unturned. We need to get them, for example, we need to show the game has been updated with all sorts of new modding capabilities last few years, but ordinary players don't see these things. No. They don't know what it means. So if we can bring these ordinary modding things, like these new cool things onto official maps, and let players actually play with these new cool things, they're actually going to see something that they have never seen before and maybe get hooked up on Unturned back again.
Exactly. Yeah, the sometimes curated, I've very soon, this is public knowledge, very soon there's going to be California Remastered coming out. Now, my thoughts about this map, first of all, I've been playing it. It's absolutely amazing. I love it. It's really good. It has some really cool new features. I love it. But the fact that it's called California, in my opinion, is not going to bring a lot of players on. Because the old California, it didn't really do that well, sadly. So
This comes down back to advertising again, because if they manage to do cool advertising and actually manage to hype up the map, then they will
yes,
get a lot of players, because
I
there's a
agree.
lot of new cool things and features within the map. But if they focus only on the content and they don't do anything with advertisement, it's not going to go well. And it's same for servers. It like these created projects are so similar to servers that you wouldn't even believe it. You work on same things on both things.
Exactly.
You want to keep the player hooked up, you want the player to keep playing the map and server as long as you can, and you want there to be a reason for the players to always come back to the map and
Exactly.
server.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I feel like, for example, the last map that came out, Limestone, there was literally, I love the map, it's good, but there was literally no advertising with it. Usually there's a trailer coming out, there's a post from before, like a week before, that a new map's coming out next week, and that builds hype. But Limestone
Definitely.
came out on a random Monday evening. I was like, what?
And
So-
that was also not nice that it was on Monday, because you
yeah, yeah,
every single time you want to post a map or a server either on Friday or Saturday, because you then have players actually having the whole weekend be
exactly.
able to play the server or a map. But putting it out on a Monday when school has already started for majority of people is not going to end up well. And
100%.
if I remember correctly, maps such as Alver and Buag, they actually had put out a few teasers before the map was even released.
Yes, 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 they did.
I know Buag was heavily hyped. I respect everyone's opinion on the map, but I know that they managed to get the hype really good, and that's what these maps now lack. And it's a shame to see it, because I myself owned a server. I worked with a couple of people on a server called Northwich, and
Okay,
we had put out 3 big teasers before the server had come out, and one big trailer a month before it came out.
exactly.
These teasers are the biggest thing that got the hype up. Um, I don't believe Norwich would have gotten to the numbers it did without all sorts of these teasers. And these teasers need to be cool, fast, action-packed, and need to show
New.
something new. Exactly. And that's what Norwich achieves. It showed all sorts of new caves that RP servers haven't done before. It showed, like, for example, new farming things, new locations that haven't been built before. And then the trailer that showed all sorts of UIs that we had on the server, the tools we had on the server, the mechanics, vehicles, everything. But it's what the server needs to show to get the hype up, and that's exactly what curated projects have to do. But
Exactly.
we don't have, for example, 2 or 3 teasers before the project comes out, and we don't even have players that don't play Unturned anymore see it. We need to show these teasers to players that have abandoned Unturned already, to let them see something new is coming, for them to try it out, and perhaps they will stick with Unturned again.
Exactly, exactly. Like, even a trailer sometimes is enough. Like, I remember certain YouTubers that haven't posted in a while came back because a new Unturned trailer came out. For example, when Escalation trailer came out, there were so many like people just doing videos reacting to it. So that's already enough advertising. And nowadays, there's barely any YouTubers left. Like, for example, I think I'm the only big, in commas, inverted commas, YouTuber of Unturned that actually posted Limestone videos. So that's
There are some, yeah. I'm going to stand on my grounds here that Unturned success was heavily caused by YouTubers and the attention it received on YouTube back in 2016 to 2018. That's what brought up so many players to Unturned, including me.
yeah,
And
me too. I'm pretty sure I saw a video or something.
yeah, and Unturned is missing a lot of it now. You have games that actually actively like pay for advertisement for you of YouTubers, but Unturned doesn't. SDG does it. But again, I cannot blame them because I don't know what's behind the closed doors, but they're lacking heavily on advertising as well. It's the same thing yet again. Servers need advertisement, creative projects need advertisement, and the game itself needs it. But the game is lacking it so much, and you have mainly people such as you, Nilex, and some other smaller YouTubers trying their best, but they can't do it alone. They just can't, and it's a shame to see the lack of YouTube content on the YouTube, but I like to watch some YouTube Unturned content lately, but it's just a shame to see that all of the people are gone.
Yeah, I agree. Usually back in the day when YouTubers quit, new ones were found, but this last year and a half, there's barely any new YouTubers, which is very sad. I feel like people don't think it's worth it to try to invest content in Unturned anymore, which is sad. But yeah, speaking of advertising, yeah, it's extremely important, especially for servers. I feel like I do a good job with advertising, especially for Limestone. So many people like found out about Limestone in my comments. There's so many people asking what map name, and I feel like, yeah, if you want advertising, hey, I'm here.
Yeah, I mean, you have brought a lot of people to Amox as well. I always enjoyed working with you in terms of advertisements.
I'm glad.
We're definitely going to try to go forward with more like event advertisements too, where we ourselves prepare something, where you yourself could be a caster, because I cannot be a caster. I don't have the skills for it.
It's okay.
But yeah, we actually need to get more advertisement done for the game, which, let's be honest, it's not our job to do. But since we all love Unturned and it's our game we played since childhood, I believe we can try to do something and bring as many players as possible back into Unturned.
100%. Yeah, I feel like if anyone wants to help with advertising, the easiest way is TikTok or Shorts nowadays. I'm not even kidding. That's so easy to advertise it. And I feel like even if Nelson just does, for example, a new update is coming out, he does a little short showcasing what's out and he pushes it, like, bro, it could be, like, it could help so much. It helps so much more than most people think. Advertising, even a little short, helps so much. So, yeah. Honestly, I try my best to bring in new players. I do think I'm doing a pretty good job. So, yeah.
You're trying your best, Liam.
Exactly. Yeah.
I hope SDG values that fact, because you're putting many hours into the advertisement of Unturned, and you're actually trying to post almost every single day. Like, when I checked your YouTube account, I was actually quite surprised that you're posting this much, and you're actually working with, for example, Restore Monarchy to put out videos. You like dab them, I believe. I'm not sure. I haven't looked much into this, so you can speak on that.
Wait, for Restore Monarchy?
Yes.
Yeah, so for Restore Monarchy, I do like the same like guides mainly about Unturned.
Yes.
I do everything about that video. I just talk with Macro about like what kind of video you want to work with. We give each other ideas, and then the ideas we like, I do them. So.
And this is yet again another good thing, because if we have a lot of guides on the YouTube and a lot of content on YouTube, that's where more people will get interested in modding and, for example, like Unturned itself. We as Amox would like to start with some type of guides later on too. For example, I know everything, like NPCs inside and out, so I would like to show with some tutorials what is possible, everything, and some type of Unity tutorials, and I would like to continue with Zoliworks to put out some type of Amox guides on things, and it's more going to be guides that are more in depth for like the NPCs for like vehicles, because you know Zol is really good with vehicles, I'm really good with NPCs, so we would like to make sure that every AMOX developer could have a part in creating these guides, and they will create the guide that they about stuff that they know the most. So if someone knows clothing the most, they can share some of their tips and these tutorials. If I know myself NPCs and UIs a lot, then it would only make sense for me to make UIs and NPC guides.
Exactly. Yeah, no, of course. Every little bit helps. Literally every little bit helps. So, yeah. Okay, so let me go on to the last question, and then we'll go to viewer questions. So let me find a question we didn't tackle, because we were like, from one question we may have answered like 3 or 4, which is all right. It's better like that because it's more flowy, you know. So, oh yeah, I can do this one. All right. This is more of a personal take, I guess. But are you happy with the direction Unturned is going?
Simple answer, no. More like elaborate answer is going to be a bit more complicated, because as I was saying the entire stream, I don't know what's going on behind the closed doors of SDG. I don't know how Nelson feels right now. I don't know if everything is all right in their lives. Like if everything is all right in Nelson's life, in Molten's life.
Exactly.
I just cannot talk bad about people that I don't know anything
exactly
about.
know. Yeah.
I do have my opinions that I believe they could be doing more important things than some of these like animations of soaps and pizza. I don't believe they have to be really focusing on these things. I believe they have to be focusing, for example, on the advertisement and coming up with some new concepts for the game, and not just rework old concepts.
Exactly.
Yes, I understand that Nelson wants to rework stuff that he made when he was 17 and 18, but there should be either someone that can tackle these things, like for example we AMOX can tackle all sorts of these old things that Nelson wants to rework, and Nelson can focus on something new, some type of new additions to the game. There should be also a way for like more robust way of, for example, making the curated projects, because as of right now you just have to send an email to Nelson and hope for the best. Sometimes you don't you sometimes they will not accept your map, and it will get posted as a I call it semi-curated project.
Yeah,
like for
yeah.
example, Seversk was
yeah.
like a semi-curated map.
I love that map, to be honest. That's a really good map.
It would be great for SDG to have some sort of systems where they can incorporate modders more into their game and into overall operations. And for example, speak to us as AMOX for some sort of reworks of some things, because I myself pour a lot of money into AMOX. I don't have any issue paying for all sorts of models that would be added into Unturned later on myself. But we're right now trying with AMOX to show Nelson that we actually are able to tackle these sort of reworks, that he can actually trust us with it, instead of him having to spend time working on it.
Of course, listen, if I ever bring Nelson on the podcast, I'll be sure to ask him. Because I was thinking of bringing him at like one of the last episodes. I did email them back in the day when I was doing the first time, and they were down. So I'll be sure to ask them about this.
It's amazing. Then definitely ask him, because we would like to give him the offer. We've even emailed him once. Sadly, we haven't received the response, because it was during the time when Nelson felt worse, I believe. So again, I cannot blame Nelson. I don't know what's going on behind the closed doors, but the offer is here, and we would love to be able to be incorporated into Unturned development and rework these type of things that Nelson just wants to rework, but he has to spend time on something new.
Exactly. Yeah. I agree. I agree. So I do think that Unturned right now is in one of its worst times, sadly. When it comes to new content creators in general. But everyone says that Unturned is dead, but I don't think it's dead at all.
It's not fully dead because you have a loyal community that loves to play this server, and there
Exactly.
are still some upcoming cool servers that haven't been done before. For example, we as AMOX have participated on the creation of a completely new generation of Unturned. So
Oh
this
wow.
type of Unturned even has your a completely custom inventory system. I cannot speak much about it because the owner wouldn't like me to speak much about it,
That's okay. That's
but
okay.
people don't know that something like this is coming, and it's a shame because I'm telling them you need to hype up the
Yeah,
server, you
yeah.
need to advertise, otherwise all the money spent is not going to be put into good use. So I'm trying to make sure that people know about these, for example, really cool looking upcoming servers, but they will also have to tinker once again with the balance of sandboxy and realistic style. But I'm sure they will manage to do it well.
I agree. I agree. Listen. So when it comes to like building up hype, I DM like I know a lot of Unturned servers. I know a lot of the owners. I always tell like if I think the server is gonna be popular, I literally always tell them you want to start building up hype. Like even if it's just a short. Obviously it's sponsorships and all of that, but I always feel like it will help so much, even if it's just a short or a Discord post. It will actually, even if it's just 5 players that are interested, that's better than zero, you know?
It's better than nothing.
Exactly. So
Exactly.
I always try to tell them, let's start building up hype. Or consistency is another thing as well. They need to be like, not just they post one update, they launch the server, and then they never update the server. That will kill the server by time. So I feel like consistency, advertising will help so much. And like even if it's just a little event, like if it's a roleplay
Definitely.
server, a racing event, like an F1 race. I had an event one time for Jack as well. I don't know if he's still here, and it was just a F1 racing event. But most of the players that were on the server doing the event were my viewers. So like without that event, these people would have maybe not never have joined. So it helps
Yes,
so
yes,
much.
yes.
So yeah.
These sort of events, for example, on the Live RP Halloween event, we had 150 players for
Oh
like eight
wow,
hours, for 8 straight
that's
hours.
crazy.
Yes,
Yeah.
the server was like a presentation. It was lagging a lot, but these sort of events actually bring in so many players, and I have never expected that my event would be played by 150 players
That's
for such a long time in a
that's
row.
crazy. That's really good for Unturned actually.
Yes, and later on the next day when we fixed the cube plugin, because it broke before we were meant to go live with the update, so we had to cap it to 150,
Okay.
and so it was filled up immediately, and the next day when we fixed it, it was back to 70. But since we have it so donators expand the limit, the server got back to 135 players the next day
Oh
again.
damn.
So it was just amazing to see
Yeah,
it.
that's really nice. That's really nice to see. Okay, so yeah, now let's go over to viewer questions. Chat, start asking your questions. In the meantime, I did post some questions in Discord. Let me see. Let me see what they're saying. Oh yeah, so we have a question from Chris Woody who asked in Discord. He asked, "How long have you been doing Unturned development?" Which I assume like AMOX and all of
Unturned,
that.
I believe I first started it. I first touched clothing back at the back of 20, at the end of 2018. However, it was just clothing, and I just focused on clothing. It was only shirt and pants because I didn't know how to model at all.
Okay.
But that grew into something bigger. As I said before, map development, NPCs, Unity. So I began at like late 2018, but more was done in 2019, 2020 mainly, and then
Okay.
from 2020 it was almost every single day.
Damn. Okay. All right. Okay. So I don't know if Chris is in stream, but maybe he'll watch. So we have a question from Snowins. So I have a viewer. His name is is Dash. He always asks in these podcasts, he always asks the same question. What is your favorite alcohol, if you drink alcohol? I don't drink alcohol.
My favorite alcohol. So I'm not going to say directly a specific brand of alcohol
Okay.
because I'm going to be honest with you. Unturned modding turns people into something you don't want, and I was an alcoholic a few years back because of
Uh,
Unturned. Just 4 years back, I was constantly drinking Jägermeister and all sorts of these things. But lately, I just cannot do that anymore because I have terrible headaches and I'm unproductive the next day.
that makes
So
sense.
right now, if I do go into some type of, for example, restaurant with my girlfriend and we drink,
Okay.
then I'm going to take, for example, 3 glasses of red wine, maybe some type of champagne, like 1 glass of champagne. If I do drink a bit harder, then it's definitely going to be Pilsner or Quell beer because I
Okay.
live in Pilsen in Czech Republic and
Okay.
that's where this famous beer started brewing. If I do go a bit more towards the harder alcohol, it would be a B52 shot, which consists of 4 different alcohols, which is Kaluha.
Okay.
There is one white liquor, which I don't believe the name as of right now. There's an orange rum, which is La Grand Marnier, the name.
Okay.
And then on top of it, there are a few drops of absinthe or Strach, which both have around like 70 to 80% alcohol. And then you put it on
Jesus.
fire. You put it on fire and you take a straw,
Okay.
and drink it from the bottom of the shot. And you just need, for example, 5 or 6, and you're rolling the entire night. And it's a really cool shot. Some people are scared of it, but it's you don't feel that hard alcohol, and
Really? Okay.
it's really good. It's the B52 shot, and if you ever do see it in some type of bar, try to ask for it. Not everyone can do it properly. Keep that in mind because you actually need to have proper alcohol for it,
I see. I
which
see.
not many people have, and it's a very specific alcohol because not everyone has Kahlua and the orange rum Grand Marnier. The white liquor is more known,
Okay. Yeah, for
but
example, Malta, I've never seen that. So probably it doesn't exist here.
yeah, it's Bailey's.
Ah,
The white
okay,
liquor
never
is
mind then.
Bailey's.
Okay, okay.
Exactly. So definitely, if you ever want to try and go for the Beat 52 shot, but just keep in mind it goes into the head really fast
Oh,
and make sure not to overdo it.
no, I don't like alcohol. When I was younger, I used to take here and there, and I was just get really weird, you know.
I mean, I tried alcohol for the first time when I was like 5 because my grandfather gave me, Pilsner Urquell beer. I'm Czech, I'm from Pilsen, so of course he gave
uh,
me beer. So from time to time when I was younger, I drank like one beer, I don't know, every 3 months. Especially when I used to have professional kart racing races, then
okay,
every every time after the race at the end of Sunday, I drank half a liter of Pilsner Urquell because I don't know if you know it, but beer has a lot of electrolytes, and you can
okay.
actually drink one beer after a lot of sports, and it's going to help you with recovery. But of course, you cannot overdo it.
Oh yeah, no.
If you're going to drink 2 liters of beer in one go after some sport,
Yeah, no, don't do that.
it's going to have a completely different effect. But if you do just
Sip.
0.3 liters or 0.5
Okay.
liters of some specific beer after a lot of sports, and you don't have sport the next day, then it's actually good because of the electrolytes and everything.
That's interesting. I didn't know. I didn't know actually beer had electrolytes. That's really interesting. Okay, so next question. We have ourselves a question from Ervin. Ervin always asks this as well. I don't know the context, but he always asks this. He asked if you know or don't.
If I know or don't.
Yeah. I don't know. I
I
don't know.
don't believe I know.
Good, good. All right. I don't know what he concludes with that, but he literally asks this to everyone. And most people actually say they don't know. I don't understand. Anyway, Oh yeah, if the rats are watching, if I remember correctly. I don't know. Anyway, so we have another question from Julian. He asks, what's the next free release you're making? I think we talked about this earlier.
The free next pack is going to be the new nature pack, which is going to have all sorts of grass, bushes, the custom water, cliffs, pebbles, rocks, logs, all sorts of like lily pads, the cigar plant that is like in water, maybe even like the white flower that when you punch, all sorts of white particles come out of it. That I've also seen that in Unturned official, so I cannot take the credit for that. But I would like to make it look cooler, maybe expand on it.
Okay, yeah.
And for example, we are going to make it so the grass is going to have a hue variation. So you will be able to use one specific grass and you will place it around the entire map, and the grass is actually going to change color. Some small patches are going to have be more dried out, but some patches are going to be more green. We are able to even change how much the unturned character pushes the grass, because that's actually an unturned right now. So we can actually change how much the unturned the player when he walks over the grass, it's going to move it. The next free pack I would like to post in, for example, the cityscape objects pack with all sorts of additions to cities that look cool, and it's going to include also an alphabet models. So players will be able to, instead of using signs that it's a sign but it doesn't look that good, they're going to be able to craft letters from A to Z and numbers from 0 to 9. They will be able to place it on walls, and they will be neon, so they will be able to turn it on, off, choose different colors, choose, for example, a rainbow color. So it's going to be like a neon signs that you have in real life, or neon strips.
Okay. Alright, yeah, I can't wait for sure. So the next question we have ourselves is from Raid. Who asks, what do you think of Project X, and how many bins has he stolen while drunk? What?
Bins. Not even a year back, I was with my friend in Pilsen and we were drinking a lot, and we saw some trash can that I don't know why I liked it, but for some reason it was like a new trash can that they only recently installed. So I went with my friend to it and I just stole it and took it to my garden. But of course the next day I went there and with my shovel and actually put it back, because that would be stealing. And
that would have been...
since I have a gun license, then they would be able to actually take away my gun license for things like this.
Oh, hell no. No.
And as for Project X, I don't know much about it. I know it's going to be a cool looking server, I guess.
Yes.
That it has some cool features, but I haven't dug deep into it because last few weeks I have had just simply too much work, and since my university began on weekends, after this podcast I'm gonna have to get prepared and go to uni. It's just I don't have that much time as of right now to check out servers themselves. But as soon as it gets more free towards the end of this year, that's when I would like to start working with server owners to get their servers better and speak with them what content they need on the servers.
Yes, I agree. I'm actually gonna do a series on Project X when it's out. So
nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, remember that question of you know or don't know? It wasn't rats. If it's the squirrels are watching, they got mad in the chat because I said rats. So
squirrels are watching.
The squirrels are watching. I don't know. I forgot the context of it. It was like in the first podcast, and I forgot.
I didn't know, Liam, that you have chipmunks.
Yeah, no, I don't know what's going on. Alright, so next question we have ourselves from Chris. So Chris asks, what do you think the effect of no advertisement had on these curated maps? How many players could have been if there was a form of advertisement?
Of course, much better, because if you put out a proper teaser and trailer on YouTube, the YouTube algorithm knows that these people have played Unturned in the past. And I've already seen an instance where a curated project had put out a trailer or a teaser, and it actually showed up on the feed on the main YouTube screen to someone who hasn't played Unturned for 3 years at that point. So that's when they looked at it because they were interested in what they can see. They've seen it, they liked it a lot, and that's why they downloaded it again and tried out the map. But without this video, they would have never known that some created project was put out, some new created map was put out.
Exactly.
So you will definitely be able to see on how many subscribers the map has. Because, of course, every created map you see a new influx of players coming back into Unturned, but the next month you see them going away again.
Yeah, no.
So it's definitely going to be much higher if people actually focus also on the teasers or trailers. And they don't even have to be really long or so overly edited. The teasers I've put out on Northwich, it took me roughly 3 to 5 hours to make one.
No, they're
like
not
the
hard.
editing
They're not
process. They're not hard. You don't even have to use special cool effects for transitions, and you don't even have to put in any text. All I did on Northwich was record the clips.
Normal gameplay.
I had normal gameplay. I had to look for some music because music does a lot. Like, the hardest thing, in my opinion, on a teaser or a trailer is the music. Is to be able to find some type of good music.
Yes, I agree.
And
it needs to be synced as well. It's very important.
And then when I had all of that, I put the music into my program, and I was cutting the video depending on the beats in the music.
Yeah.
And it was everything. All I did also was rotate the camera, so it wasn't like always 90 degrees, but it was actually like rotating when I was in map edit, like in camera, and doing some cinematic shots. But that's everything I did. I only cut the video, put in the rotation, put in the music, cut it depending on the beats. That was it. And that brought in so many players for Northwich.
It helps.
Yet,
it helps.
I don't know why won't people actually focus on it. It's important.
I agree. I even offered, like, if I remember correctly, for Limestone, I offered them to make a trailer and post it on my channel so more people can, get.
I mean, you would do something free for them, so why not post it on your channel?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I was waiting to do a trailer, and then, like, on just a Monday, I was like, the playtest server, because we had a playtest server, I was about to go record there, and it just shut down because map came out. So it was like, damn.
Yeah, I don't believe Limestone has released in a good day at all.
No.
If you were offering them the trailer, then that's even worse. In that case, I didn't even know that. It's a shame because from what I've seen, Limestone is a cool looking map. It has some sort of content too. I don't know much about Limestone, okay? So I'm just speaking from what I've seen. But it's just a shame to see these sort of things. And I even know that some players were leaking Limestone before it was out, which sure is a bad thing, but also a good thing at the same time. Because for this, it builds hype. The entire Halloween event I've done on Live4P, I was doing controlled leaks. I've had specific people that I always showed something cool to them, and these people have then showed it to their in-game groups, to their Discord servers, and that had put out even more hype. I don't believe without these controlled leaks, we would have had that many players on launch and the next day and the next day after it. It's the person has to learn a bit of psychology in terms of this type of advertising, and if they manage to learn it properly, they can actually get a lot of players and a lot of traction.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree 100%. So we have ourselves, let's go for one final question because we kind of went much longer than we thought, which is okay. So Let me actually see all the questions we have. I'll try to ask from different people because Chris has a lot of questions.
Nice,
Alright,
nice.
quickly, yes or no, and we'll do another one. Do you play Clash of Clans?
No.
No, okay.
Used to.
Used to. Brawl Stars. Do you play Brawl Stars?
No.
No. Okay, so those are covered. So the final question we have is from Winter. He asked, what was the hardest / time-consuming project that you have ever done?
That is, well, if it's a long-term project, it's definitely going to be Norwich, which was the server that we were creating.
Okay.
We weren't happy with just good enough. We wanted to get RP
Make it
into like
better,
a
yeah.
to a completely different level and make it not be just an RP, because I know how important it is for players to experience all aspects of the game, which includes PvP. And a lot of RP servers underestimated this. And if you don't give players the ability to PvP on RP servers,
Yep.
you're losing a huge chunk of the PvP player base that would love to play the server, but they won't because there's no PvP aspect.
They find it boring,
And
for example. Yeah,
they
yeah.
find it boring, and that's what I'm going to be implementing on Nilex's server too. I'm going to be preparing a special zone in there that players will be able to approach, and they will be able to PvP between each other in there to like make sure they can use the items they have gotten over the years and use it actually, instead of it just being like for showcase. I want them actually to use the thing they got and actually PvP and enjoy some stuff, and perhaps get some nice rewards for spending time in the PvP zone.
Of course, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's yeah. Hopefully that answered your question, Winter. But
If it's meant to be some shorter based project, then it's definitely going to be the recent Halloween update on Alex's server, because
Okay.
it was something new. That's the first thing. It had the live update thing, so we didn't even have to restart the server to make the event accessible. And there were all sorts of hard things like the animations. It was just mainly the things that haven't been done in Unturned much before, and it was complicated to do it. And to add onto it the fact that I did the entire event within 150 hours of clean work time in just 2 weeks was complicated, stressful, and
oh yeah, no,
not
of course.
good. But we managed to do it, and it was a very hard and time-consuming project. It's not going to be the most consuming project because I spent thousands of hours on Norwich, but this one I managed to condense 150 hours of clean work into 2 weeks, which is already crazy enough.
That
if
is
you
insane.
consider that most people work for 160 hours in
In a month, yeah.
in a month. So that's probably one of the most consuming and hard projects that I've done recently.
Yeah, 100. That's insane. That's crazy. I kind of relate with you though, because I put so many hours in just videos editing. So yeah, sometimes a break is impossible to find. You know.
Yes.
But yeah, I guess that's it for this podcast, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed. What did you think, Loco? Was it? What, did you have fun?
It was nice. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
amazing to speak with someone that listens to me and understands the things
Of
in
course, of
regards to
course.
Unturned, because I also have my opinions. I don't really speak much about them with people. Yes, sometimes I take it up with our Amox developers
Yeah,
and
yeah,
freelancers,
yeah.
but we ourselves cannot do anything. Like, yes, we can talk about the things that Unturned needs in our chats, but it's not going to change anything. So I hope perhaps Nelson is going to see this and it's going to show him a different view on everything. It's going to show him that there is actually something that is willing to put their time, money, and effort into Unturned and help them with it.
Exactly. Yeah, it was great, man. It was very nice to see you as well. Like have a nice conversation with you. Hey, if
Thank you very
Nelson
much,
comments, I'll
Loco.
let you know for sure. Because he did
That's
actually comment on
amazing.
a few. Yeah, he did comment on a few. So
That's amazing. So I'm definitely going to be waiting. I'm definitely going to be continuing with working with you. I have some plans that I haven't told you about yet, but I'm sure you will like them.
Oh, hell yeah.
So yeah, you will see, and we will try to make sure that we as Amos can get you as many
Oh, yeah.
partnerships and advertisement as possible.
Great.
And we will make sure that we continue making Unturned as best as we can.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah. So, yeah, again, thank you, Loco. Thank you, everyone that watched. Before we tune out, let's give a huge shout out to all of the sponsors. Again, without them, we will not be able to do these podcasts. So make sure to check them out, chat. All of the commands are down here. Go say hello. So yeah, so the first sponsor we have, obviously, we have Amox. Huge shout out, Amox. So from this podcast, you probably can't tell, but basically, Amox is a professional team where you can ask for mods, plugins, or anything your server needs. It's very safe, trustworthy, and they are well professionals. They've worked with basically all of the servers, most of the servers in Unturned, including all of the ones that we mentioned today, including Nilex, Northwich, a lot more, Project X, most of the servers, literally. Then we have ourselves Pine Hosting. If you guys are looking to get yourself your own Unturned servers, not just Unturned, they have Minecraft servers, Rust servers, Project Zomboid, and a lot of other games. Make sure to check out their site and use code LDG for 30% off for that exclamation Pine. And now we have ourselves Restore Monarchy. Restore Monarchy offers free and professionally made plugins for your servers, and they have an amazing website where they showcase guides, information about anything about Unturned, including modding, basics, even gameplay. So make sure to check out Restore Monarchy. Then we have ourselves World of Warships. Make sure to play World of Warships today for really fun ship battles with a lot of features, customizations, etc. And it is completely free to play. So exclamation warships for that. And finally, we have ourselves NoNameBot. So NoNameBot is a professional, powerful Discord management bot and a tool that will keep everything on platform, where you will not be able to have a billion bots in your Discord. You just get yourself NoName and basically has literally everything. And with it, you can keep your community safe, simple, and privately. And it's completely free as well. So yeah, make sure to check out exclamation NoName as well. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. For the people that are interested in watching the normal stream, we will be doing some gameplay soon. After this podcast, I will stop the podcast. Give me like 5-10 minutes, and I will restart the stream. And yeah, thank you again, Loco, for watching. Not for
Thank you
watching,
very
for
much.
being here.
Thank you for having me here.
Of
Thank you
course.
to everyone for listening. It was nice, and I'm sure we can repeat it sometime again, like next year or something.
Of course, yes.
Maybe things will change, and Nelson will actually try to incorporate us into something. And in a year, we can sit down and speak about the changes that we are going to be implementing, for example.
Exactly. I honestly, I do think that in a year, a lot of stuff can change. Hopefully for the better.
A lot, indeed.
So, yeah. Oh, yeah. By the way, the next podcast will be next week, guys. So if you guys are interested in podcasts, it will be next week. It may not be at this time. I will let you know on my Discord, but it will probably be a server owner named Coke, which is the owner of Method Gaming and Winter's End. Winter's End, I think it's called. And we'll be talking about that. We've played a lot of Method Gaming in the past, so make sure to stay tuned, chat, and join my Discord so you can ask your questions for him as well. Yeah, I'll see you guys on the YouTube normal stream soon, okay? 5-10 minutes, I'll post in my Discord when I'm live, alright? See ya, chat. Bye!
Amazing. Have a good one. See ya. I'm gonna post